Here's what's coming up on today's edition of NFL Daily. The Jalen Reagor trade details. Will break down that shocking move. The Panthers, are they next to trade away a wide receiver? We'll also run through all the trades made in recent days and break down all the notable free agency, waiver claims, etc. made today by NFL teams. But first, Jalen Reagor is no longer a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. They've been trying to trade him. They found a taker for a lot more than I think what we thought he was going to go for. A 2024 conditional fourth-round pick might end up being a fifth-round pick when it's all said and done. A seventh-round pick this year. The Vikings get Jalen Reagor, which is kind of funny to me because Reagor, of course, has been a huge disappointment. The big part of that was the Eagles took Reagor over Justin Jefferson. And that was everyone thought that's not a good idea. That's bold. I don't know about that idea there. And then everyone was proven right. The Eagles were wrong. And then Jefferson becomes even better than what people thought he was going to end up being. And now they're both together in Minnesota. Reagor, I think, needed to get out of Philadelphia. I don't think he's going to be a god-awful player the rest of the way. Maybe it's a little bit of a, a similar situation to Nelson Aguilar where he gets to a new destination and has some more success. I don't think he's built for Philly. The Eagles, meanwhile, are fine at receiver once they add some more depth. I think A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal is fine. As receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, you need a fifth, though, on your roster. The Vikings actually have some talent, whether it's Reagor or Osborne at receiver 3. I believe this team is going to use more 11 personnel by a pretty good margin than what Vikings fans have grown accustomed to over the years. So Reagor goes from Philadelphia to Minnesota for what will probably be a fifth-round pick and a seventh-round pick. That fifth-round pick comes next year based on stats. Kind of don't think he ends up making it, but we'll see. We don't have the exact conditions on that pick at this point. So with that in mind, who won the trade? E for the Eagles or V for the Vikings? This question is going to be the pinned comments on today's show. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, that's all good. Take advantage of it. Head down to that pinned comment and spam your E for the Eagles because they won the trade or V for the Vikings because they won it. Let me know in the comment section. Let's have some fun now. A lot of roster moves made today. Let's break down some of the notable additions for teams. Alex Leatherwood goes to the Bears. The 17th overall pick in 2021 was cut a year after his first year, I should say. The Bears will take on his remaining salary. So they owe him 3 years, $5.9 million. All of it's fully guaranteed. The way it's structured, you don't really want to cut him until 2 years from now, or this year and then next year as well. But the Raiders already gambled that someone would claim him. They actually save a ton of money with the Bears adding that contract. I don't know where he's going to play for them. He's played guard and tackle for the Raiders. Not great at either. To be clear, and I hate being this blunt, but it's the reality of the situation, he sucked for Vegas. It was a shockingly bad performance where if this was a seventh-round pick, he might not be in the NFL anymore. But a first-round pick with talent, we all assume, going to get a second chance, I would wager. But there is a very real possibility, in fact, it's probably the likely outcome, that Alex Leatherwood, unfortunately, is just a bust. It is so rare to see a team, even with a new regime, dump a player after 1 year, especially a top 20 draft pick. That's unheard of. So be honest with me in the comments section. What's the percent chance that Leatherwood is just a bust? The Bears were not done making moves. They made 6 waiver claims. They're down to, I think I saw this number. I might be wrong. 19 players from last year's roster. It's all that's left. A complete overhaul in Chicago. It's insane. They had Josh Blackwell, Kingsley Jonathan, Armon Watts. Notable one there. Could be a starter for them on the defensive line, or at least a high-end rotation player. Trevon Wesco is a good blocking tight end. Sterling Weatherford is a guy I liked a lot from Mile Mater, Miami of Ohio. Colts and Bears, it's not a surprise those two overlap. Matt Eberflus, the DC. There's a lot of similarities there. He, I think, could be a nice special teamer for the Bears. Some quarterback movement now. How about Ian Book going to the Eagles? The Eagles claim him off of waivers from the Saints, the former fourth-round pick. And then former third-rounder Kellen Mond gets claimed by the Cleveland Browns after the Vikings said, 2 different Vikings teams said, nah, he sucks, we're done. Both QBs were drafted pretty early, and they're now out of their respective organizations, which is a pretty rare sign and also an indication that they're just not very good. If you had to pick one QB, though, for me, who is it? Type in IB for Ian Book or type in KM for Kellen Mond. Let me know in the comments section right now. More movement as there were not many offensive linemen claimed. One of them was Chuma Edoga, the Jets tackle who the Jets leaked the Cowboys had interest. I don't think they actually did. And then they end up waiving him. The Falcons claim him on waivers. He will compete at some point this year for the right tackle gig because Caleb McGarry is not very good. The Bengals made three of my favorite claims. Devin Asiasi, the former UCLA tight end. The Patriots cut all their tight ends from a couple years ago because those were bad picks. He brings some nice depth. Max Scharping, I think, is better than Jackson Carman is right now. Great O-line depth there. Jay Tufele, former fourth-round pick from UCLA. I like that addition as well. And the biggest one, O.J. Howard, who I think, unfortunately, that Achilles injury really sapped Howard of the remaining athletic talent he had. But he can block for you. And if that's your tight end 2, and then you got, Asiasi as tight end 3/4, it's fine with me. That makes quite a good amount of sense. The Jacksonville Jags, again, being ultra-aggressive, 5 claims. Ty Summers, off waivers from the Packers, the linebacker. JaMychal Hasty from the Niners, who also, by the way, just cut Trey Sermon. Now, I'll make note that there's a reason all these guys are cut. They're not that good. But, if you're 55 on this team and 54 on the other, it's probably fine to add them. Or in this case, I guess 50 for Jacksonville. Or 48, #math. Tyree Gillespie on his third team in 2 weeks. Raiders trade him. Titans cut him. Jags claim him. Riley Patterson from the Lions, a kicker. And Kendrick Pryor from the Bengals goes to Jacksonville. Some other notable moves. Javelin Guidry, the former Utah defensive back. Great speed special teamer, goes to Arizona. Tyler Johnson, the Bucs receiver, 5th-round pick. They had too many guys. Houston claims him. Former 3rd-round pick Justin Lane from the Steelers goes to the Giants on waivers. Blake Hance, the Browns guard, goes to the Niners. He could be a 6th or 7th lineman for them. And Tariq Castro-Fields, off waivers from the Niners to the Commanders. Other veterans that have been signed in recent days or are going to sign allegedly. Nate Sudfeld going to the Lions. See you, David Blau. He's out of here. Sudfeld lost his job because the Niners kept Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy. Now he goes to be the backup in Detroit. And Sony Michel, the former Dolphin and Patriot, is now a member of the Chargers. Also, former Ram, by the way. Isaiah Spiller's banged up. We'll see if Michel can carve out an RB2 or RB3 role, but it's kind of been the situation for him in recent years. Now, not every team made a claim today, and I'm not talking about signing practice squad guys when I ask this question, but did your favorite team make a move? Type in Y for yes or N for no in the comments section. Today's show is made possible by BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code NFLDaily. When you put down at least $100, they're going to give you an extra $125 for free. And not only can you bet on a wide variety of games when you use promo code NFL Daily, there are a bunch of prop bets too. For example, who leads the NFL in interceptions? Zach Wilson, plus 800. Davis Mills, plus 800. They're both tied for that role, with maybe Wilson's injury causing some concern for bettors in terms of not throwing as many INTs. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, both plus 1,000. And then former turnover-ish prone guys, Matt Stafford, plus 1,400. And Jameis Winston, who I think is a really good bet here at plus 1,400 as well. Throw some money down at chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL Daily. Let's talk wide receiver trade again now, as the Panthers have received trade calls on both Terrace Marshall and Robbie Anderson. Now, as we sit currently, Carolina says they are not interested in a trade. Now, they've got 7 receivers on the roster after they traded for Laviska Shenault, who will break down that trade momentarily as we run through all of the trades that went down. But Carolina's been, I think, disappointed with the play of Marshall, and they also restructured Robbie Anderson, so I don't think they're going to go that route, but it is just worth keeping an eye on from that perspective. Laviska Shenault is now on there. Shai Smith, who I like quite a bit. Rashard Higgins, Andre Roberts. Honestly, I think that's a good receiving core. Here's what The Athletic wrote. 7, in terms of 7 receivers, feels like a surplus. And teams have called the Panthers to see if Marshall or Anderson is available. The Panthers don't plan to trade either player. But Fitterer had always said he'll listen. I don't think either guy gets dealt. It's too early to bail on Terrace Marshall. And the Robbie Anderson trade doesn't make much sense unless they're getting a big draft pick back from that perspective. So name a player who you think ends up getting traded. Let me know in the comments section what player you think ends up getting dealt in the coming days. Now, we are 83 subs away from 318K, and YouTube keeps taking them away from us. I don't know why. I think it's a bunch of bot accounts, but let's get that changed. We've gotten to 318K like 5 different times, then we lose 10, and then we lose 5, then we gain 4. It's annoying. If you have not already subscribed to us here at NFL Daily at Chat Sports, hit that big red button and do so right now. All right, let's run through all of the trades that have gone down. First up, and this is in the last 24-ish hours, Laviska Shenault, who the Jags, I think we're going to cut, has been sent to Carolina for a 2023 6th and a 2023 7th. He's not been that good. I'll make note that Ben McAdoo, the Jags' former involved member of the organization, is now the OC in Carolina. There was this one, though, the shocking one, my favorite trade I've seen in a while, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and a 7th-round pick for a 5th and a 6th. Here's the way I go about it. You just traded Jalen Reagor for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Well done, Philadelphia. Trayvon Mullen also dealt for next to nothing to Arizona. I am shocked by that one. He hasn't been a star, but I think he's a pretty good football player. I think he can start for Arizona. I love that deal for the Cards. Depth pieces here, Grant Stewart and a 7th for a 6th, so they basically gave him away because he wasn't going to make the team. Dennis Daly goes to Tennessee, some more O-line depth. Daly and a 7th for a 5th next year, 2024. Denver gave up Malik Reed. I love this one for Pittsburgh, as they got Malik Reed and a 7th in exchange for a 6th-round pick, so he was going to get cut. A lot of these guys were going to get cut, obviously. Speaking of Pittsburgh, Jesse Davis, he goes to the Steelers in exchange for a 2025 7th-round pick. And Minnesota, where we began everything with the Jalen Reagor trade, they also got Ross Blacklock, the former round 2 pick from TCU, plus a 7th in exchange for a 2023 6th-round pick.